Hey guys, Marvin and Kid Air back again. Welcome back to some more Patreon requests. I'm delivering a Patreon request from my patrons. As always, if you like to join the Patreon, and the link in the description is down below if you like. Today we are delivering something that you can kind of see in the image that I am using. It is revolving around a certain gentleman that your boy's a big fan of, Jackie Chan. Yeah, I do love Jackie Chan very much, and Tim Dragon is the subscriber and patron that wants me to do my favorite Jackie Chan movies. Now, there are so many favorite Jackie Chan movies I have, so it was a little tough to put this list together, but I did put it together as much as I could. I put 12 movies that I really enjoy. These are kind of the movies that I go back to and watch more often than any other of his movies. Now, Jackie Chan has been in the game since the late 70s. You know, he started out as a stuntman. He was, if you get a good glimpse, if you watch Enter the Dragon, you can see a young Jackie Chan getting beat up and killed by Bruce Lee. That was him, and he tells a wonderful story about that, which I enjoy very much. But yeah, he went on to be himself, mixing action and comedy together. You know, when at that point in time, everybody in Hong Kong they wanted the next Bruce Lee instead of trying to make him just be himself, and that's kind of how he started out. But I'm glad he's such an international uh, film star and director. So yeah, I'm here to deliver on that. So number one on the list we go to is Drunken Master. I love this movie so much. Just the physical wear and all that Jackie put himself through to do this film, and he would come back later on to play the role again in the Legends of Drunken Master. But in the first one, it was all about drunken style, kung fu, which was really cool. And you just see the workouts he was doing, and the physical comedy, as well as the physical actions that he put through himself, was just amazing. Um, of course, it's in dubbed, and but I've always liked to watch it in his original. I believe it's Cantonese, but it's fun. It's really good. Number two on the list is probably Jackie's first attempt at breaking into the American audience, and that was the Big Brawl. I think it was called something else in Hong Kong and China, but this was his first time, uh, and it was actually a period piece movie, because it took place in the 1930s, Chicago. I believe it was in Chinatown. Chinatown. It was Jackie, and his name was Jerry, and his father didn't want him fighting. He had a girlfriend, and his uncle was played by the legendary Mako, and it was really fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was Jackie's first time breaking into Hollywood. He was trying to break into it because it was like a Hollywood uh Stephen Chow, I believe, or Stephen Chow branch together. So yeah, it was still fun nonetheless. Number three on the list, the Police Story franchise. I love the Police Story franchise. You talk about Jackie putting that work in, putting himself through the amount of dangers that, I mean, you go watching some of these stunts he pulled off in these movies. It's ridiculous. Just the physical just wear and tear that he put himself through. That's one thing. God is on this man's side, because it boggles my mind sometimes, the shit he survived. I know he has a small hole in his head, and from falling out of a tree, I believe, and it's just, every time I watch those the stunt reenactments, or at the end of his movies, I'm just like, oh god. But yeah, all the Police Story movies were great. I love them so much. I love the police story movies. Just there was the scene in the mall when he slides down this pole and you just see shh, and everything is exploding around him, and then he just falls. It's just like fuck. Like you're just like, man. There was a great fight scene with him in the park with these guys, and it's just the stunt choreography that they put in on that was just amazing. There was so many. I think there was five. I could be wrong, five or six, but they're all good. So yeah, number three is the Police Story franchise. Number four is the Armor of God franchise. I do love the Armor of God franchise. This is kind of Jackie's take on Indiana Jones in a sense, or Nathan Drake. He's kind of like a thrill seeker, and and of course, the one that was imported to the States back in the day was called Operation Condor. It's originally called Armor of God 2 Operation Condor. But yeah, they both were good. I do love those franchise. And again, Jackie did some great stunt work in there. And there was just one scene, I think it was in Armor of God 2. He was sliding down this rail and the railing is supposed to slide, but it got stuck at one point and he fell. And I was like, oh Jesus. He landed right into this pile of sand face first. I felt so bad for him. But I love the movie. It's a fun movie. It's really fun. It just mixes everything you like about Jackie. So yeah. Number five on the list is Twin Dragons. I love anytime actors get to play like twins, and in this movie, it's similar to like what Van Damme did in Double Impact. While one twin is this way, the other twin is that way. They're opposites, but they're twins. One was like a violinist, so he was like a classical music player, and the other, I believe, was a cop, or he was. I can't remember. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I did enjoy it very much. It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and Jackie got to play two parts opposite of himself, so that was also fun. Number six is a spinoff of Police Story, but it's actually the second movie in the franchise, and that is Super Cop. Super Cop. Now, in the States, they called it Super Cop, but it's really Super Cop 2 because the first movie starred Michelle Yeoh, and then she came back in the second one as well. So this is the second one. This one had Jackie center stage, but I felt like they were just equal. They worked well together. I love them in this. Super Cop was another great film. It was Jackie and Michelle going after this crime boss, and and of course their identities get discovered by the crime boss. The crime boss kidnaps Jackie's girlfriend, but there's some great stunts by both Jackie and Michelle in this. That was just like, it's just like, yeah, it's the funniest stuff though. Some of them were just fun, and some of them was just downright scary. I remember the one that was on the Jackie was on a helicopter. The helicopter crashed on the crashed on the it crashed on the train, and Jackie hit like one of the railings, like you see like it was like a water tower, and he's supposed to spin, and the train, it wouldn't spin, and the train that started, the chopper hit him right in the back, and he could just see he couldn't move. I was like, oh my God. One of my favorite scenes is where he demonstrating to the cops in China, mainland China, how strong he was, and he had to fight this guy, and he's joking around, and well, Michelle kind of boasts him up, saying like he knows how to do this and knows how to do that, and then the guy was like, "Oh, you must be strong. Let's have a demonstration." And he's like, "What are you doing to me?" Like, and so he fights the guy, and like the guy and it was just really great choreography again. But again, the guy was like, "Okay, let's go again," and he's like, "No, time out. You're good. Let's go." And he's like, it was so funny. I actually love that movie. This movie was funny. Number 7 on the list, Rumble in the Bronx. Rumble in the Bronx, of course, is, I believe, now if you look at the synopsis, they say he's a cop from Hong Kong, but I don't remember them even saying that in the film. well, the American dubbed one, but I can't remember if they said, but the movie's supposed to take place in New York, which it doesn't. You're talking to looking at a New Yorker. I know New York real quick, and I know the Bronx real quick. So uh, they filmed some parts in New York, I could tell, but a lot of it was filmed in Canada, in Vancouver, I believe. And Jackie becomes mixed up in a drug related situation, and he has to save his new girlfriend and try to stop this crime boss called White Tiger, and he helps the police out and the NYPD in this. It was fun. There was some great scenes. There's a scene where he's driving a nice Lamborghini, and he ruins it. I was like, oh, it was golden, and he's chasing down this guy in the hovercraft, and he gets this big ass sword, and he gets inside, and he puts his foot on he sticks it outside like a javelin, and he cuts the hovercraft's rubber suspension. It was really cool. But of course, Rumble in the Bronx had probably one of the best fight scenes I ever seen by Jackie. It's when he goes after the gang that beat him up one point, and he just beats the crap out of all these guys. It was the choreography in this was just beautiful. I loved it, but it was good. Number 8 on the list is Who Am I? Who Am I is another Golden Harvest film. I think it was Golden Harvest. I believe it was or not. Correct me on this. Jackie's last contractical movie for Golden Harvest, and in this he plays a former soldier who loses his memory. He loses his memory. It takes place in Africa, South Africa, and him and the rest of his special unit. It was a unit that was comprised of a lot of international people. There was like a guy from Russia, one from Japan, one from Germany. They were all a special elite soldiers, and they got betrayed. And Jackie survived. He fell out of the chopper, and he lived, but he when he fell out the chopper, you can see him just crashing into trees, and he's found by this African tribe, and they bring him back to health, and he stays with them for a while. But then it becomes a quest of him trying to figure out who he is again. He wants his life back, and that's where the adventure starts. It goes from South Africa to Rotterdam, in the Netherlands. It was a fun story, and some great stunts in that too, and some great fightings. But it's just typical Jackie. But it was good. It's really good. Number 9 on the list, of course, we got to put the Rush Hour franchise. Um, Jackie at this point in time was already he had already kind of put his niche into Hollywood, but this kind of really pushed it now. Him co-starring with Chris Tucker, and I love the relation. I love the fastest hands in the East with mixes up with the biggest mouth in the West. Talking about Chris Tucker, uh, Jackie Chan was a cop from Hong Kong, and Chris Tucker was a cop from LA, and Chris Tucker wants to get higher than being a part of the LAPD. I think he wants to be a feds, uh, and there's a international incident, and the man responsible, whose daughter was kidnapped, he brings in Jackie to help the feds, playing dick measuring contests. Like, I don't need him. We don't need somebody outside. We'll just get somebody to keep him company. But then a friendship blossoms through their differences, and the movie went on to gross so much money. They went on to make 2 more sequels, and I believe there's supposed to be a fourth one, but Jackie's not getting any younger. He's 69, and Chris Tucker, I think, is in his 50s now. I could be wrong about that, but yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see. The next one took place. The second one took place in Hong Kong. The third one took place in Paris, which was funny as well. But yeah, it was. I love the franchise. I love Rush Hour more than I like the Shanghai franchise with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson. I mean, Owen Wilson was only in one, but Jackie was in both of them. I like Jackie doing a western, but it was I like Rush Hour a lot more better. Number 10 on the list is Gorgeous. This is a movie that gets slept on because it's kind of a love story that turns into somewhat of an action movie. Basically, it centers around a young lady who is infatuated by this writer that she loves. She travels to meet him and express her love to him. But unfortunately, she realized that the guy is gay and it breaks her heart. And she ends up falling for Jackie, who is a CEO of this company. And we see that his rival is also has affections for this girl, and there's a great fight scene between I'm forgetting the name because he actually I forgot the actor the fight choreographer's name, but he's in Australia. He just recently passed away too, and he's the fight choreographer for a lot of the Marvel movies too. He was really good in this movie too. Like him and Jackie have this really good fight, and it's a real honorable fight. And at one point when they're fighting, um, Jackie's kind of getting overwhelmed, and at a point he looks around and he sees this sign that says "Just smile," like just smile. And so Jackie, when he comes out, he's just smiling at this guy while he's fighting. Like it's kind of creepy, but he's smiling, he's all relaxed now. So he's bumping around, he's smiling. He's smiling and stuff. It was just fun. It was a good movie, but it gets slept on because it's a movie that maybe a lot of people never seen before. But I do recommend it. Number 11 is another good movie. It kind of tapped into a little bit of what Jackie always wanted to play like a superhero. He said so. He kind of got his wish in this, and he also got to work with again with the late Julian Sands, rest in peace, sir, who also voiced Valmont in Jackie Chan Adventures. The movie's called The Medallion, and in this movie, Jackie once again is playing a cop that is tracking down um, Julian Sands' character, um, and he travels to Ireland. Actually, he travels to Ireland, and he meets his old girlfriend there, and of course he works with Scotland Yard, I believe, Interpol. Excuse me, Interpol, and he dies actually because he's trying to save this kid who is actually kind of like a mixture of the Golden Child and I forgot another movie, but this kid saves him by breaking. He had this medallion, and the medallion he took a piece of it and gave it to Jack because he was drowning. They were underwater, and he supposedly died, but he didn't. He came back, and he's kind of like immortal now. So, and Julian Sands' character wants it as well, and so they go after each other. So, but he's bulletproof. Well, he's not really bulletproof. I mean, he can get shot, but it don't hurt him. He can jump really high and all that stuff. It was fun. It was a fun movie. It's called The Medallion. From Jackie Chan was in it. It was fun. Uh, and the 12th movie on the list is the movie that Jackie starred with another great Jet Li. It's called The Forbidden Kingdom. I love this movie. This movie was in production U-Haul for a long time because it was stated that they were going to work together, and at first it seemed like it was going to be they were saying it was going to be a cop movie, that they were going to be cops and they were going to work together, but then it turned out to something else. It was The Forbidden Kingdom, and it mixed a lot of Chinese mythology. One of my favorite mythical Chinese folklore heroes is the Monkey King, and Jet Li in that played the Monkey King. So it was really funny to see Jet Li, smiling a lot as the Monkey King, and Jackie Chan was like a monk in that he's like a drunken monk, and it centered around this. I forgot the name of the kid, but he lived in Boston, and then he was sent back into the past, and he mixed up with Jackie and Jet Li, and he went on this adventure. Um, it centered around it had Asian actors in it, but it focused a lot on this white boy. But outside of that, it was still a good movie. It was still fun, and I loved it a lot. I really do. I loved it. It was so much fun to see because Jet Li was the Monkey King in this. He was the monkey, and we kind of got a fight scene between Jackie and Jet Li at one point. But it was fun. It was so much fun to see um, them interact with each other because at from my knowledge, this was the only movie they ever worked together. So, but it was still fun. It was a lot of fun. Well, guys, there you go. Some of my favorite Jackie Chan films. Thank you, Tim, for the request. I appreciate this. I love Jackie Chan, and the man has given his body and his heart for his filming. I know he has an honorable, lifetime Academy Award. You know, and awards are one thing, but you know, if there was a stuntman award, which there should be, Jackie would have like a bunch of them because the stunts he's done. And you got to remember, he's old school. In Hong Kong, stunts are differently than how they do them now. And but he's just amazing at what he does. And the man is now 69. He'll be 70 soon. But it's great to see his line of work and just what he has been able to accomplish as a performer, a director, a writer, um, and an author. He's written several books. I've read one of them. I haven't read all of them, but he's not perfect. He's made some mistakes and he talks about it. But to many of us, he's a legend. He is. He is keeping the legacy of Bruce Lee and alive, even though he's crafted his own, and I love that. So thank you, Tim, for this. I appreciate it very much. Uh, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. And this is Marvin and Kid. Thank you for the Patreon request, guys. And if, like I said, if you want to join the Patreon, link in the description down below. And I will see you guys next time. Deuces.